Merry Meet and welcome to Jupiter's Radiance. I'm Taylor and today we're going to be talking about self-care for this upcoming week. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I am using a self-care deck, but this is just a simple self-care spread, and it's one that you can build for yourself however you need to. You don't necessarily have to use all these categories, or if you want to have more, you definitely can, but these main three I think are going to be enough, because a lot of times this is just a snapshot. It's not necessarily something where it's like it's not meant to be a project for you to be very intensive about. It is meant to be self-care. So it's not meant to take up a bunch of mental space. It's meant to quite simply be like, oh, I have an idea for doing that, great, I'll do that and feel accomplished. So very much that kind of energy. And with this, so these cards are going to be very like direct because they are self-care cards, but you can use this again with any oracle or tarot deck. My advice when using such cards is notice what direction things are facing. Like you may notice that some, like the people in the pictures are facing away, or you may notice that they're all very like there's always groups of people involved, and so from that you can take it like, oh, they're always facing away, like maybe I need to disengage. Or maybe there's groups of people and it's saying like, oh, I need to be relying a little bit more on my support system or seeking out advice from experts. So depending on what your situation is and what you're asking for. And so yeah, so just allowing yourself to be a little bit creative, using your intuition and really going based off of the picture, and then allowing yourself to take in the words as well. So when it comes to using decks for self-care. With that, let's go ahead and get started. So we do have card number 1. So this is self-care for yourself. Card number 2 is self-care for your relationship. So this can be friendship, any kind of thing, just in general, like kind of a general check-in. So if you have one person in mind, you might want to pull an extra card and pull it either above or below, depending on like the priority that you kind of want to put that in. Or you may just make this about one person in general, or maybe you don't care about this. And then we have self-care for your work. So this could be quite literally, maybe you're overworking yourself, maybe you own your own business, but just checking in with kind of like where you're at. And maybe a good check-in too, if you, in regards to your relationship with your to-dos and your tasks in your life. And so and then one more I do like is also self-care for the home, because a lot of times that's where our energy really is building itself and supporting itself, and so we need to make sure that we are caring for our home in that same way. With that, let's go ahead and get started with our collective reading. And so for self-care for yourself, we have 45 sing. So this seems pretty obvious, but the thing I'm going to touch on here, because if you're someone who's like, I really don't like singing, this also can mean like going back to like childhood songs that you used to like belt out and sing to, and maybe, or even what comes through is like Disney songs. I think a lot of people really relate to older Disney songs especially. And so just kind of deep diving that, giving yourself kind of like couple hours to enjoy music and sound. But most importantly, it's going to be about sound that is coming from you, because it's also going to be clearing that throat chakra. So this self-care is very much going to be around your voice and advocating for yourself in many ways. And so that's why there's this thing, because it's a lighthearted way of helping you speak up. Okay, so for your relationships, we have 6, build strength. So there's 2 messages with this card. What's coming through first is for those who need to build strength for themselves first. A lot of times you cannot care for someone else until you care for yourself first. And so that is more the message here, is there is a need to step back. Like, and it is interesting, the only eye she has open is her third eye, the other 2 are closed. And even in this one, they're closed, see? So there is a little bit of a stepping back, calming down energy to really build up support internally inside of yourself first. Because even singing, we were talking about, that's working your throat muscles, and then build strength is quite literally building internal strength inside of you. Now the other message about this is within your relationships, you quite literally, if you are struggling in any of them, the other message is quite literally like go take a workout class together, or like go for a walk together, but do something that works the energy out as well, not something where you're just sitting and talking. Okay, and so for self-care for your work, we have 33 make a vision board. This, I feel, makes a lot of sense. It's pretty straightforward. So just in regards to your work, your passions especially, so maybe your work is like an 8 to 5 and it's not like your dream position. And so you can still make a vision board, maybe about the path of your career. And if you're pretty settled in the role that you're in with your work, then what does the vision of the future look like for you? And that's really all a vision board is. It doesn't have to have any like concrete goals. It is quite literally just like, what does the future look like? And so that's the main question you're answering here. And it's asking you to do it in a very visual way, and then to also have it up somewhere where you can continue to see it. And then this is probably the only one where it's like, this is meant to be a snapshot for a reason, because this is one where you take a snapshot, but you're able to use it to build up on future energy, or you know what I mean? Like you're able to use that as a foundation to keep that energy going. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this collective. I hope that there was a message here that really resonated for you and that you were taking care of yourself this week. I thought this was important spread for this week because we are in the midst of May, where we are just about getting into the summer, where it's going to be a ramp up energy. And so it just feels like there's a lot of projects that are closing out, but a lot of projects that are coming up. And so we're in this interesting transition period, which really calls for a lot of care. And so with that, thank you again for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more weekly spreads like this to use for yourself in your own development. And also feel free to comment. Let me know if you're using this with any of your own decks. If you have any questions, maybe if you have a tricky card that you pull, feel free to share and we can have a discussion. But I will see you guys next week. Blessed be.